Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss something problems on our D'Alembert's principle. Okay. So suppose I am giving you problem like this. I am having this type of system. The system is hanging from the wall. There is a damper and then here there is a spring. There is a mass called M2. Another damper is present here and a mass M1 is present here. Okay. Now what is given in the system? It is given that this is M1, this damper is D1, this damper is D2, this damper is K, this spring constant is K. So now what you have told that this is a physical model. It has been given as a model. It will be given as a model to you, okay, along with mass, spring and damper. Okay, so now this is a mechanical model given, and what you have to do, you have to write the mathematical equation of it. Clear? So what you have to do, you have to write the mathematical equation. So how you will proceed? Now first, you have to remember the law. What was? The law was governing D'Alembert's principle. Now, in this diagram, it is shown that a force is applied to this mass. That means this mass M1 is pulled with a force of F, and due to this pulling, what happened? A displacement occurred. So this mass has been displaced by a unit x1 and this mass has been displaced by a unit x2. So these are the displacement x1 as well as x2. Now in D'Alembert's principle, we know that this is a system. We generally we will get the system in static equilibrium, and as per D'Alembert's principle, how they attain the static equilibrium? Again, initially there is a force. It will create a oscillation within the system, and due to the damping present, which we generally get from friction, so that friction will provide damping for mass 1 as well as mass 2, and due to the tension of the spring there will be certain amount of elasticity also present, and that will also oppose this force, and after few while the system will again will be at rest. So we know that as per D'Alembert's principle, our force, it is F. This algebraic summation of all the restraining forces. What are the restraining forces? First is inertia force, Fm. Then will be the what I say, FD, damping force, FD, and third is the spring force, FK. All the restraining forces should act in a certain way that the applied force, ultimately it is nullified and the system will again get the static equilibrium. Now how we are going to do the mathematical model? Now first thing you will remember, the number of masses will give you the number of equation formed. So what is the first rule? The rule 1 is you check how many different masses are present. Here two masses are present, M1 and M2. So you will get two equations, 1 and 2. One is for this mass, another is for this mass. So we will try to do the first mass. Okay, so the first equation will be with this mass. So what are the forces acting on this mass? The force, applied force F, is directly applied on mass 1. So the force F will be here. Now, who will oppose this force? If you just go for a free body diagram, before this you go for a free body diagram. You draw the first free body diagram. This F is actually along acting on mass 1, and this force is acting in this direction. So if you want to oppose this force, what will have to do? The inertia force M1, what will be the inertia force? That force is M1. What is the displacement? X1. So the inertia force must be x1 d2 x1 square dt square. It must be in opposite direction of this applied force. So it will be in the opposite direction of this applied force. Understood? Next, what is directly attached with this? Another that is directly attached with this mass is this element d2. So this will also provide a direct opposition of this force F1. So that means another force which is directly acting on against this applied force will be D2. We know that the frictional force D is proportional to, we have written in our previous lectures that FD is proportional to U, that V, that means the velocity of the system. So if I am taking the intermediate value of velocity as this is velocity, actually depends on velocity. I am taking it as u1, because if I take v when we are going for analogy, it will be a bit confusing. So I am taking the velocity as u variable. Okay, so suppose I am taking a intermediate variable u1. So that means my d2 is actually the force, damping force will be d2 into u of 1. What is u1? You can write it as d2 dx1 by dt. That is the another force which is actually opposing this force. Now what is the third force? Third force, what another element is attached with M1? Another element which is attached with the M1, that is this D element. Okay, D1. So here D1, how much displacement has been took place on D1? You look that D1 is displaced in the lower direction by x1, and it is also compressed by elongation of this mass m2 by x2. So what is the net direction of d1, effective direction of d1 in the downward direction? It is x1 minus x2. Why I am taking x1? As I am considering m1, so I am giving priority to the displacement x1. So I am writing x1 prior to x2. So what is the displacement took place? This is x1 minus x2. Understood? So this is x1 minus x2. So that means now we can form the first equation. This is the displacement. So what is the total amount of force that is acting against F1? So another force which is acting against F1, that is in opposite direction of F1, that will be, so D1 dx1 by dt minus dx2 by dt. So this is the total forces which is acting against F. directly on mass we are getting it from the free body diagram. So from the free body diagram, we are getting three forces are actually opposing F. So if we write it in this form, so what we will get? So it will be F equal to inertia force m1 d2 x1 dt square plus d2 x dx1 dt plus d1 dx1 dt minus dx2 dt. So this is the first equation we got from this mass m1. I think you understood